Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
It could get stormy out there. We're going to begin tonight with a possibility of severe weather in San Antonio and our surrounding area tomorrow.
Yeah, some of these risks include gusty winds, even hail. And the question is when this is going to happen. Meteorologist Mia Montgomery is here to tell us.
Yep, not tonight, but tomorrow, specifically in between 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's the window where we're going to be monitoring for a few strong to maybe even severe thunderstorms to develop across portions of south central Texas. Right now, not a whole lot going on your authority radar, minus a few sprinkles out there. A few showers possible as we sleep tonight, but notice here on your futurecast, we're actually pretty dry throughout the first half of the day tomorrow. But after lunchtime, we're going to start to see this weak cold front seep into parts of south central Texas. And as it does so and eventually stalls somewhere across our area in that 3 to 10 p.m. window, we will be monitoring for that chance to find some strong thunderstorms. Not everybody is going to see a strong storm tomorrow, but within that time frame, we will be monitoring for some hail as well as some strong winds within some of that activity. Not finished with the rain chances after that. We are expecting scattered hit or miss chances to continue, not necessarily as severe though into this weekend. So we're going to time it all out hour by hour for you and get you the latest version of your futurecast coming up in just a few, guys.
All right, thank you, Mia. By the way, the state also getting emergency response crews ready across the state ahead of this severe weather threat. Right now, the Texas Department of Emergency Management has these resources on standby. Parks and Wildlife for boat rescue squads, TxDOT to help with any traffic issues and road closures, the Department of State Health for any emergency medical services needed, and the Department of Public Safety in case any helicopter rescues are needed.
Now, just in case you find yourself caught in a hailstorm, here are a few tips from the U.S. Agriculture Department on how you can stay safe. The first thing is seek shelter immediately. If you're outdoors, find something to protect your body. Also, stay out of places that quickly fill up with water. And if you're on the road, stop driving, pull over on the shoulder away from trees. Also don't leave your vehicle, stay in your car until the hail stops because the car should give you some form of reasonable protection.
I used to live in this area, so I know what you see, you don't see. But I'm begging you, please, please, somebody speak up. Somebody knows something.
An aunt's tearful plea for help. Help that she's hoping someone, maybe somebody watching right now, may be able to give her.
Here's what happened. Her niece, and you see her right here, 17-year-old Caitlin Hernandez, was found strangled in a ditch on Tuesday night, less than half a mile from where she lived. Police say that Hernandez went for a walk with one of her friends from the neighborhood, but she didn't return home. Police say someone saw her cell phone lit up in a ditch. After further searching, officers found a jacket and Hernandez's nude body under a bridge in the 7600 block of Del Oak Drive.
Her aunt would not talk about the ongoing search for Caitlin's killer, but she says her niece was an animal lover. She wanted to be a veterinarian.
She loved to play sports, she loved to play basketball, she loved to go with her little sisters and go play and take care of them. She loved to go to the park, and now her little sisters, they no longer have time with her.
A lot of questions, not enough answers tonight. Police say they interviewed the friend Hernandez went walking with, and though they originally asked for help locating a separate person of interest, police now say they have since found him, and he is also cooperating.
So now Crime Stoppers is offering our cash reward for any information that leads to a felony arrest. Now, you can submit a tip. You can do so anonymously. You can call or you can text the number that you see on your screen. It's 210-224-7867. You can also use the Crime Stoppers app.
I didn't think that she was dying.
She may have also played a part. 2 years after 5-year-old Mercedes Lasoya died, we are hearing from one of the suspects accused of abusing and torturing that little girl. That was her own mother. While Katrina Mendoza is facing charges, she's also testifying against the other suspect in this case, her ex-boyfriend, Jose Ruiz.
Erica Hernandez was in the courtroom as jurors saw photos and videos of the abuse that little Mercedes suffered. And the details, I got to tell you, they're pretty tough to hear.
He would spank them. He would pull Mercedes' hair. and cover her mouth and nose, use thumbtacks on her feet.
Katrina Mendoza laid out the abuse she says she and ex-boyfriend Jose Ruiz committed against her 5-year-old daughter, Mercedes Lozoya. Mendoza told jurors some of the images shown in court were taken by Ruiz on his cell phone. While jurors and those in the gallery could be heard crying, neither Mendoza or Ruiz appeared to show any emotion.
Did you ever try to stop Jose from doing these things to Mercedes?
Yes.
How many times?
Several.
Did he listen to you?
No.
Photos showed Mercedes with bruises, standing on thumbtacks, and even with her arms held up on either side by a pole. While Mendoza says she did notice the injuries, she says she and Ruiz tried to help Mercedes heal.
He would buy her the hot and cold cooling pads and put them on her bruises, or he would buy Neosporin for her cuts.
Mendoza has accepted a plea deal in exchange for her testimony. She faces up to 45 years in prison. The emotional day has wrapped up, but we can expect more emotional testimony tomorrow when the medical examiner takes the stand. Ruiz is facing up to life in prison if he is convicted. At the Cadena Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
He's accused of opening fire as he drove down I-10. Tonight, San Antonio police have arrested a man who allegedly shot at someone during a road rage incident over the weekend. According to SAPD, 27-year-old Jason Bustos shot at a man near Bernie Stage Road. An arrest affidavit states Bustos was brake checking the other driver. Both got to the turnaround at Bernie Stage, and that's when Bustos got out and allegedly shot at the man's vehicle. Police say the shooting was actually recorded inside that car by the victim. Bustos is now charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. His bond is set at $100,000.
Tonight, San Antonio police were investigating after a man was shot and killed outside of a sports bar. The shooting happened around 2:30 this morning at the 210 Sports Cantina and Grill on Southwest Military Drive. That's right near Commercial Avenue. Now, officers say that a fight broke out in the parking lot, and that's when shots were fired from different locations. The man who was shot died at the scene. SAPD says that several people ran off after someone started opening fire, and right now there's no information on a suspect.
It could be a life or death decision for law enforcement officers, deciding whether and when to fire a gun.
Yet it's a choice they have to make all the time. So to help them be better prepared to make that choice, SAPD officers got to take part in this virtual simulation at the training academy.
Our Katrina Weber spent part of one day doing this very same training. She found out it is no easy task.
They're the stories that make headlines, a police officer shooting someone. In fact, officers with San Antonio police shot 22 people throughout last year.
So what you're feeling now is what a brand new cadet might be feeling.
Today, I took a walk in their world through their virtual 180 simulator.
You get that good grip and pulling it out. You're pulling it out.
The first step, getting used to holding and firing a weapon.
Okay, you're pretty close. So there you go.
The stakes quickly got higher with scenarios that could go wrong at any moment. All the people here were actors.
We got a call about illegal dumping, and so I came to investigate. That's part of my job.
All right.
Fortunately, words worked here, but I found out that isn't always the case.
He's got a gun.
A distraught man with a gun ignores all my commands.
Put the gun down, Aaron. Aaron, come away from the building, Aaron.
I'm forced to shoot him from behind, killing him.
Aaron, I can't let you go in the building. I'm going to need an ambulance here.
It's easier to say, I'll wait till he actually does something. But by that time, other people are hurt.
Yet another scenario involved a man threatening to kill someone else.
Sir, look at me, sir. Sir, look at me. Talk to me.
I tried talking at a time for action.
In reality, what's it going to take him to go from here to here? Nothing.
A split second.
Right.
To make matters worse, I overlooked one potential victim.
Did you even notice the baby right there?
No.
The baby's crying the whole time, but you're focusing on this.
While this may be virtual reality, the lessons here are based in everyday reality for police. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
On Monday, right here on the News at 6, we told you about a doctor at University Health who was climbing Mount Kilimanjaro to raise money and awareness for organ donations. Well, today, Dr. Kelly Hitchman and 11 other climbers made it to the summit of the 20,000-foot mountain.
So happy for them. That was their goal. University Health posted these photos that you see there. They posted them on social media. They show the climbers at the mountain's peak. And to make this even more special, they reached the top on World Kidney Day. That's what they wanted.
Just grab your stuff and go. Try not to let it show. 'Cause we'll be okay.
The second installment of SA Vibes out right now. It features talented singer-songwriter Carolyn Hale, performing 3 songs off her debut album entitled BFF. SA Vibes is KSAT's local music showcase featuring a musical artist or band every month. It's available to watch right now on all of KSAT's digital platforms. Scan the QR code to take you to Caroline's performance from our KSAT garden.
I'm sure a lot of people are listening to music right now, Steve, as they're in traffic. 609 right now. You see there I-10 at Frio. One side there is perfectly fine. The other, down to a crawl. I mean, slow, but at least the vehicles are moving.
Yeah. Maybe,
it is, after all, 610.
Maybe the music's giving them some patience.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Still ahead on the News at 6, an explosion caught on camera. A pizza oven at a West Texas restaurant exploded. You see it right there? As the owner tried to start it up. What the owner thinks caused this to happen.
Plus, you're going to see how a group out of Central Texas is helping farmers who were devastated by the wildfires in the Panhandle. That, plus an update on those fires, up next.
And taking a quick look outside with live cam, a chance of severe weather in the forecast for tomorrow. It certainly looked like it could happen today, though. Surprised we didn't get more rain. Meteorologist Mia Montgomery will tell you when we can expect to hit our area with those rainstorms and possibly severe weather after the break.
She thought she was selling a pot for plants to a neighbor for less than $100, but it turned out to be a scam that cost her a lot more. Tonight on the Night Beat, the warning police have about the use of mobile payment apps.
Data shows used car prices are starting to drop. So coming up tonight on the Night Beat, we're explaining why this is happening and showing you how these prices could change right here in San Antonio.
Now, a group out of Central Texas is helping ranchers affected by those devastating wildfires up in the Panhandle. The group Operation Cow Chow is donating 1,000 bales of hay to wildfire victims. Volunteers have taken those bales all throughout the Panhandle, even as far up as Oklahoma. So far, more than 10 trucks have been used to deliver the hay, which is essential for the farmers in those fire-ravaged areas.
We've just been driving a lot and just doing what we can to get them as much hay as possible for right now.
They reached out to my parents and we asked if we could donate some hay for them, and we told them yes, of course. You know, we're not going to second source that or think about it twice. We're going to hop on it.
Yeah, the organization has also raised more than $14,000 for the victims of those wildfires. Now, here's a look at the active wildfires up in the Panhandle. Remember, some of these started more than 2 weeks ago. We've been talking about this. As of this morning, the Smokehouse Creek fire has burned nearly 1.1 million acres, but it is 89% contained. The Windy Deuce fire has burned more than 144,000 acres, and that one is 94% contained. And the Wellhouse fire, that's burned around 50 acres, and it's 75% contained.
All right, let's go to West Texas now and take a look at this. Over the weekend, the owner of a pizza shop in San Angelo was lighting up his oven when it exploded. Yikes. Yeah, right there. It was all caught on camera. You can see the moment the pizza oven burst into flames. Right now, the cause of the fire believed to be a gas bubble, something that can't be seen or heard. The owner only suffered minor injuries. He's lucky, and he admits it could have been a lot worse.
This minor burns all the way through here, armpit over here, so lost my eyebrows. Just more the scare than anything. Now I know how, in a split second, just getting out of bed, just to come open the front door. Like I said, that's all I was supposed to do, just open the front door.
He also says he's working on new safety protocols to make sure something like this doesn't happen again.
Ooh, but thankfully he's okay. Wow.
Yeah, blew him off his feet.
Yeah, geez. Yeah, you saw that when he fell back.
Yeah.
All right, so a moment ago we were talking about wildfires. Obviously, we need some rain. Let's talk about the possibility of that tomorrow.
Yep, we love the rain. We need the rain. What we don't love so much is the potential for severe thunderstorms. And while not everybody is going to tap into a thunderstorm tomorrow, and especially not a severe one, there is the potential that we could find some of that stronger storm activity develop into the afternoon and evening for our Friday. So by the way, because of that, we're going to start off pretty dry in the mornings. I think actually we could see a few peaks of sunshine return by lunchtime, but that's going to help temperatures climb into the low 80s. With that daytime heat taking over, you combine that with a weak cold front that's going to be approaching from the north. Those are the ingredients, when also you throw in the humidity in there as well, that will help spark up that potential. We've got about a 60% chance into late Friday afternoon and evening to find some of that on authority radar. So I do want to time it out for you. Today, not a whole lot of measurable rain out there. We saw a few light streamer showers in western Bexar County earlier this afternoon. It does look muggy when you step outside, a little bit of haze because of that moisture in the cloud cover, but temperatures, despite all that, still warmer than average in the upper 70s and low 80s. As we zoom this out and take a look at the bigger picture, though, check out the desert southwest. There's this area of low pressure that's been dumping snow across portions of the Rockies over the past couple of days. This has now anchored itself over portions of Arizona as well as New Mexico. It's just going to hang out there through the weekend and even into early next week. And with where we're positioned in relation to that low pressure system, our winds here in the upper levels of the atmosphere are out of the southwest. So this low pressure system is allowing pockets of upper level energy to then float into the Lone Star State. At the same time, tomorrow, this cold front is going to be working its way southbound and it approaches San Antonio by about 3 o'clock. Notice here on your futurecast by midnight, that front starts to make its way closer to the Metroplex. Severe storms possible near DFW, stretching over to the Red River as well. Meanwhile, we're dealing with about a 40% potential for just a few light to moderate showers as we sleep tonight. But then here comes that boundary, and in that 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. window, that's when some of those scattered strong storms could develop. So by 5, 6, 7 o'clock, potentially some of that activity across portions of the hill country near Fredericksburg, Bandera, Lakey, even the southern Edwards Plateau. Depending on how far south this front makes it before it stalls will ultimately determine who all gets to see some of these thunderstorms. But even into the 9, 10 p.m. hour near the I-35 corridor, some of that possible near New Braunfels, San Marcos, even Austin. We'll need to monitor parts of the Winter Garden near the Rio Grande there too before all of this activity starts to work its way farther off to the southeast Friday night and into early Saturday morning. Most of our area, if not all of it, under either a 1 out of 2 risk for some of that severe thunderstorm activity, 1 to 2 out of 5, I should say. The main concerns will be large hail as well as some strong winds. Can't completely rule out some of those heavier downpours embedded within those thunderstorms as well that could cause some issues out there on area roadways for those that have Friday night plans. So tomorrow is going to be a great day to keep the KSAT Weather Authority app handy. We will continue to send you updates as we see some of these thunderstorms get up and running. Not necessarily severe into the weekend, but some more hit or miss activity is possible Saturday into Sunday. Not a washout, but enough to keep the umbrella handy at times. Temperatures cooler in the low 70s. Then a second front arrives into early Monday, cooler than average into next week with highs topping off in the 60s.
Thank you.
All right, last year the Houston Texans were a pretty young NFL team. They just signed a couple of guys that are veterans. Mary.
Yeah, that's going to help out with some of that young talent. It's exciting. Joe Mixon and Danielle Hunter have arrived in Houston after signing with the Texans amidst free agency. We'll hear from them coming up. Plus, San Antonio FC hits the road for the first time this season and will face former goalkeeper Jordan Farr and the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Oh man, that kid right there. I mean, he's exciting. You know, has a lot of tools. I was with him earlier, and he just can't stop jumping. How eager he is to just go out there and just rush the passer together. Very good kid. I'm excited to just be able to go out there and teach him a lot of things that I know and help him become a better player.
Four-time Pro Bowl defensive end Danielle Hunter alongside the Defensive Rookie of the Year Will Anderson Jr. is going to be something special. We're talking Texans in big board sports. The Houston Texans not only brought on star DN Danielle Hunter in essentially a swap with the Vikings who signed Jonathan Greenard, but also a running back to join Dameon Pierce in the backfield. Houston traded for Joe Mixon on a 3-year deal from Cincinnati. Mixon, going on his 8th season in the NFL, said he was quite shocked when he learned he'd been traded to the Texans. He's also confident in what he brings to H-Town.
It was definitely a shocker. I could just say that. It was definitely a shocker. And I've been a captain the last 3 years in Cincinnati. When I speak, I lead and, speak with command. They're definitely getting a playmaker, and I think that the way things was being explained and the meetings that they're willing to showcase everything that I could do, which is very exciting. I've been waiting for this a long time.
San Antonio FC had a rough home opener this past weekend, tying Loudoun United FC 2-2 while being up a man for most of the match. Our Nick Mantis was at practice this morning before the club leaves for its first road trip of the season.
Well, it's a very focused practice here this morning, Mary, as SAFC is looking to move on and move forward after that frustrating first match. One of the things that they kept telling us was that there's a lot of lessons that they learned that they hope to take with them into their first road trip.
Yeah, obviously, as a goalkeeper, you never like to concede a goal. And of course, especially giving up a late goal like that is just very disappointing. But at the end of the day, we just have to kind of turn the page. It's still, like I said, very early in the season, so we can't let this result affect our mentality or affect us going forward. So it's about getting a good result now in Tampa and moving on.
This will be the first time that SAFC gets to go up against its former goalkeeper, Jordan Farr.
It should be fun playing against him. We're definitely looking forward to that, and talked to him over the course of the preseason. So we're looking forward to the matchup with each other.
We all love Jordan. I'm happy that he's in a good situation. And again, it's another one like our club. It's one of the best clubs in the league. I'm happy for him and his family. But we're going there to play Tampa. We're not going there to play Jordan.
Another thing that's going to be interesting to see this weekend, Mary, is how SAFC does against the Tampa Bay Rowdies home crowd in their home opener. It's going to be wild out there in St. Pete. At the Star Soccer Complex, Nick Mantis, KSAT 12 Sports.
Last night, the UTSA men's basketball team suffered a first-round exit to Temple in the AAC tournament, and today the university parted ways with head coach Steve Henson after 8 seasons with the Roadrunners. The program went 110 and 144 overall under Henson in that stretch, while finishing 11-20 this year in UTSA's debut season in the AAC. Henson's contract was set to expire at the end of the month, so we're going to see a new leader next year for UTSA.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what direction they go because, like you said, 8 years he's been there.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
And we're going to have a medical professional here up next to answer the questions that you have. That's after the break.
Doc Talk. Welcome back. It's Thursday, meaning it's time for Doc Talk.
So every week we take your questions directly to the people who are best suited to answer them. And joining us now live is Dr. Dina Tom. She's a pediatric hospitalist with the University Health and UT Health San Antonio. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
So these are some questions that people sent in. We'll start with the first one here. This person wants to know, what are some illnesses going around in children this time of year, spring break?
Yes. So I was just on service a couple weeks ago, which means I'm seeing kids in the hospital. And one of the things we definitely noticed was a virus that we as pediatricians call a mean virus. Flu is one of those. COVID used to be one of those, but it's called human metapneumovirus. And it's not a new virus. We've known about this virus for many, many years. It causes the cold, common cold in adults and teenagers. But in little babies and infants who were premature, it causes a nasty pneumonia and asthma attacks in kids with asthma. So we definitely notice that's coming in a surge right now.
What should people watch out for? What should parents watch out for in their children?
So coughing, Really a lot of coughing, that kind of high-pitched, raspy, mucousy cough, lots of secretions, difficulty breathing. That's the biggest thing. And, you know, we have a late winter in San Antonio compared to the rest of the country, so we kind of can predict what comes. It's not surprising it's showing up now, but it's unfortunate because it's beautiful outside.
Like you said, that's one of those illnesses that affects children differently than adults, teenagers. How about oak allergies? I mean, do children get oak allergies?
They do. We don't typically see allergies in kids under about 2 because it takes that long for a child's immune system to start to mount that. And allergies are the opposite from what we think of with other diseases or infections. When our body gets exposed to allergens, our allergies get worse over time. They don't get better.
Yeah.
Really? Yes. For most people, they do. And it's more exposure, actually, we get potentially worse. Whereas if you get a cold, you get those antibodies and then you start to feel better, or it doesn't hit you as hard. So we definitely see that in kids over 4. That oak is falling, it's yellow, I get yellow dust on my car, and even my kids are sneezing, feeling tired. So really safe to take some over-the-counter Claritin and Zyrtec for children, just read the label.
So I'm a kid over 4, so I'm glad to know that's what's happening.
Me too.
If your kid has dealt with allergies in the past, can you sort of do that preemptively?
It's not a bad idea. Just being aware that if this is something that your kid struggles with, talk to your pediatrician about what's safe to start with. But some kids are on a children's Zyrtec every day. My son tends to have just that chronic runny nose and sneezing and feels kind of groggy. So on those days where especially I know that the pollen's high, I just go ahead and give it to him in the morning before school.
So now that we have spring break, the summer break is officially around the corner. So now that it's getting warmer, what are some water safety tips that you have for parents?
Okay. So yes, we all want to go swimming. My daughter really wanted to go swimming this week, and I had to remind her there's no pools that are really open right now. But yes, so one of the best things you can do for your kids, aside from sun safety and what they're wearing, we talked about that the last time I was here, is assigning a water watcher. So the American Academy of Pediatrics and on our University Health website, we talk about what that means. But a water watcher is where adults get together and decide who's responsible for the kids. Because drowning is the #1 cause of death in children under 4. So we want to make sure that we're vigilant about assigning a person. Adults, we get together around the pool, we're enjoying it, having a good time, assuming, because there's so many of us, that we're watching the kids. And really that's the most dangerous time, because we're all believing that somebody is watching our kid. So put your phone down, assign one person. That's the hardest part, right? And you're responsible. You wear your bracelet, or you have the sign, or whatever it is that assigns you as the person for the next 30 minutes. You're responsible for the kids.
Yeah, make it clear.
Yes.
You're the person.
It's my job.
Then we'll trade off at moments if you need to, but it's very important to have somebody in
You're
charge.
the DD for 30 minutes.
Exactly.
I was going to say that's what it sounds like.
It does. I mean, really, and just be responsible about it, and then trade off so you can have fun too. But really, everybody can feel good knowing, Steve's in charge.
Yeah. Maybe not everybody. But all right. So, all right, the serious topic now: measles. We've heard about outbreaks that have happened in certain places throughout the country right now. Is my child at risk of measles? How can I protect my child? And how concerning is this to you as a health professional?
This is really scary as a health professional, I'll be honest, because in 2020, the U.S. decided that we had nearly or pretty much eradicated measles.
Yeah.
And it was very exciting. And then COVID happened, and really due to COVID and lots of children getting delays in their vaccines, we've ended up in a situation now where we have, we definitely have a group of parents who don't feel comfortable vaccinating their kids. And then we have a group of parents who wanted to vaccinate their kids, but then they got behind on those vaccines. So yes, we are seeing, right now we have as many cases this year as so far that we did the entirety of last year. So it's scary. And measles is one of those things that terrifies healthcare workers. It terrifies the public health community because it takes such little amount of measles just in the air floating around. It's not something you have to touch or be close with someone. It just has to be around. So yes, a majority of those cases are unvaccinated, and then they spread like wildfire. So the best thing to do is just get into your pediatrician and get those vaccines for your kids.
But before we let you go, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Dr. William Henrich and the impact he had on UT Health and University Health. I mean, you guys worked together hand in hand. Your reaction to his passing away today, the former, I guess I'd call him former president because there was an interim president that was in that role, but he passed away today from cancer. Your reaction?
Yes, a complete and utter shock, just devastation. I don't think I've fully realized that that's happened yet, even though I've received several emails about it and keep reading through them as if it's something that anybody should have expected, because he just so much embodies the culture of our Health Science Center. He was a personal friend and professional mentor for me. I've known him for 15, maybe longer years, since I was a medical student. And he is just loved by so many that I don't think that his spirit will leave our campus.
That's what I was going to say. His legacy will never go away.
No, he's a beautiful man. His wife is an incredible woman, and our thoughts are with them right now.
Thank you for letting me ask you that question, because I didn't want to go through this without acknowledging what an impact he had not only on the Health Science Center, but the city. I mean, he was a giant.
He shaped our city. It's going to be hard to fill those shoes.
Thank you for sharing your experience with us. Thank you. Dr. Diener Tom, pediatric hospitalist with University Health and UT Health San Antonio, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you soon.
See you in a couple weeks.
Okay.
All right.
We'll be right back. So this is about that time where you want to check your email, because if you shop for groceries at Walmart, you may be entitled to some cash. It's all part of a $45 million class action lawsuit settlement. Some people got emails.
Yeah, but even if you didn't, 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz says you can file a claim if you bought certain meats or fruits.
If you bought groceries at Walmart in the last several years, you may have overpaid. We checked the court records. This lawsuit claims Walmart overcharged for some weighted goods like packaged meats and bagged citrus. This evidence photo shows the store price for this pork tenderloin was $3.92 a pound, but the package rang up at $4.36 a pound. Also, this bag of oranges says it's $7.98 for 8 pounds. Problem is, the bag was only 5 pounds. Walmart denies doing anything wrong but settled the suit. So if you bought any of the long list of products between October 18th, 2018 and January 19th of this year, you can file a claim.
If you have receipts, you could get up to $500. Without receipts, it's less, up to $25. We have a link on our website to file that claim. The deadline is June the 5th.
Also, Best Buy is recalling 187,000 Insignia air fryers and air fryer ovens. It has 30 reports of melting, shattering glass, or catching fire. Best Buy is giving refunds. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Hey, now we want to take you outside to get a live look with our live cam. Meteorologist Mia Montgomery tracking the potential for severe weather tomorrow as we look at those gray, hazy skies. Her full forecast is up after the break. Welcome back. So we're getting ready for Friday, which is tomorrow. It's been a long week, but there are a few things happening tomorrow that we want you to get ready for. And you were saying, Mia, that people should just leave their umbrellas and their rain gear in their cars.
Yes.
It'd be unsettling tomorrow?
Unsettling, that's a fair way
right.
to describe it. Really in the afternoon and evening. As far as tomorrow morning goes, minus a stray shower first thing in the morning, I actually think most of us are going to be pretty dry. But in between about 3 to 10 p.m., that's when a weak cold front starts to make its way into south central Texas and could spark up some strong to potentially even some severe thunderstorms. So let's get you right to those weather headlines. Overnight cannot completely rule out a few light to moderate showers to maybe a stray rumble, but the better activity and the one that could be more impactful, that round arrives later in the day on your Friday. Then this weekend, not looking as high of a severe weather threat, but scattered rain and sure, maybe a couple of isolated thunderstorms continue Saturday into Sunday. It's going to be pretty spotty. Not everybody tapping into the activity each and every day. By the way, it's also going to be a little bit cooler. High temperatures topping off near 70 degrees for those weekend plans. I want to talk about this weather setup. If you've been outside today, if you've even looked outside today, you know that it is muggy out there. Winds out of the southeast here at the surface, allowing all of that Gulf moisture to work its way back into south central Texas. At the same time, an area of low pressure has now anchored itself over the desert southwest, and it's allowing little pieces of upper level energy to move into the state of Texas. Along with that next cool front arriving tomorrow, you combine all of those ingredients together, and that's why we will be monitoring for some strong thunderstorms by this time tomorrow. So here's what that translates to on your futurecast. By about 4 a.m. early tomorrow morning, there's that light to moderate rain activity that could pop up on authority radar. A few stray showers possible for the morning drive, but then we're pretty dry throughout the first half of the day. At noon, I think we also could start to see some peaks of sunshine return if that cloud cover breaks up. High temperatures climb into the low 80s. That daytime heat will also be a factor in helping spark up some of this storm activity as that front starts to work its way in. 3, 4, 5 o'clock, some isolated storms possible, potentially as far east as the I-35 corridor. Maybe some of those thunderstorms across portions of the hill country and the southern Edwards Plateau. Activity could increase in coverage by to just after dinner time, 8, 9, 10 p.m. We may still be needing to monitor for some of those strong to even severe thunderstorms as well. This particular model wants to keep the party going into the early morning hours of our Saturday before all of that works farther off to the south as well as the east. I do want to stress not everybody is going to tap into a thunderstorm tomorrow, and especially not a severe one, but be prepared. Keep your eyes to the sky and your KSAT Weather Authority app handy, because for those that do find a severe thunderstorm, large hail is looking to be a concern, followed by some strong winds and the potential for some heavy rain embedded within those storms as well that could cause some issues on area roadways. Into Saturday and Sunday, still not finished with those rain chances, a 40 to 60% potential, again, spotty in nature, and then isolated chances still in the forecast into early next week. As we also mentioned a bit earlier, that low pressure system, it is just going to hang out across portions of New Mexico and Arizona all the way through the weekend into Monday and Tuesday, allowing those rain chances to stick with us. We don't like the severe weather, but we will definitely welcome the rain because it's no secret that we need it. Temperatures take even more of a hit early next week with the second front moving in. A few cooler mornings starting off near 50, highs topping off in the 60s, guys.
Thank you, Mia.
We're going to get Foxy in the buzz.
Welcome back. An animal care worker takes a very unique approach when dealing with a delicate orphan fox. She dresses up just like it to give it a familiar face. A wildlife center owner in Virginia uses the mask. You see it right there when feeding the newborn red fox, also known as a kit.
There is a method to this masked madness, though. The owner of the Richmond Wildlife Center says the familiar face approach helps to prevent imprinting. That's where a newborn forms a strong bond with its first contact, in this case humans. They don't want that to happen because they want to eventually release it into the wild. The center hopes to eventually reunite Kit with its mother. Meanwhile, we wonder what the fox says.
What does the fox say?
Fans of Trader Joe's are now scouring the internet hoping they can get their hands on a TJ tote bag. The popular item sold in stores recently. Shoppers quickly buying them up. A tote only costs $2.99, but some totes reportedly are selling from $500 to $500 on social media.
Why? Okay, they're selling the bags on eBay, Facebook Marketplace. Now, people who don't want to shell out the big money, $500, they're going to have to wait because Trader Joe's says that it's expecting to sell more of those totes, but it's not going to get the new shipment until September. So we'll
$500 for a tote?
No, just wait a few months.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a Trader knows.
We'll be right back.
Into Friday, stay weather aware, especially in that 3 to 10 p.m. window. A few strong to severe thunderstorms possible, with large hail and strong winds being the main concerns to monitor for those that do tap in to some of that storm activity. And then hit or miss rain chances this weekend. Keep the umbrella handy there as well. Temperatures a little bit cooler as we head into early next week.
And as we head into your dinner time, we hope that you have a lovely dinner with your family. Have a good night, and we'll see you on the night beat.
See you then.